Hey, come on. Tropical Rouge is around the corner. I gotta start using these SpongeBob clips somewhere. We waste no time and get right back to Teatine, who's still holding off the Neo King and talking to him with more lip flaps than she's used all season. Probably should save the energy used on those jaw muscles. The Neo King was just about to break out of his change when he heard a little pup haul and the flashy arrival of our heroines. Of course, he put together that they must have defeated Shindoinen, his most loyal of subjects, who was legitimately one of his best assets and should be considered a significant loss for him. Okay, I think I'm just gonna start a deathlight counter for this final boss. From there, the Cures engage the guy, and to save on time this week, they forgo the usual elemental bottle stock animations and just had them use their attacks instantly, resulting in... Damn it all, I'm not gonna have much to say about this one if the animation just keeps being this good. Yeah, last week I theorized that they were working down to the wire, hence why we didn't get a real next episode preview, and judging by this, that might have been the case, at least when it came to their animation, because geez, I wouldn't be surprised if they pulled a few all-nighters and hopefully got paid for it. Credit really goes to Katsumi Tamagai, who also directed the animation for the first episode, and character designer Nako Yamaoka, who both clearly want to end this series on a high note. However, their attack still couldn't bypass his defenses, but the Shindoinen-infused Asumi managed to, and from there it just became a matter of defending her until she could land one good point-blank ranged attack. Yeah, go wait, who's supposed to be the main character of this show? Well, clearly it's not this chick. Yes, for all their efforts, the Neo King was still standing, and moreover, Teatinu's barrier finally crumbled, allowing him not only to go full ham, but also unleashed the full extent of his power. He absorbed all of our protagonists and began to infect the entire world, and is that the commercial bumper? Wait, we're just going to commercial this early into the episode? I gotta say though, I am really liking this visual effect of the entire planet being infected by the Byogans. It just gives such a nice sense of dread to this final battle and just looks so enjoyably creepy. Though, am I the only one who feels like a ton of cross should start appearing out of nowhere? Pretty sure everyone will soon start turning into Tang too. However, the Neo King's goals thankfully didn't involve instrumentality, but rather Darwinism. Okay, jokes aside, I do kind of like this motivation for the final boss of this series. For one thing, it's properly evil, as he is just being a selfish a-hole, but at the same time, his views aren't exactly wrong either. One of the main reasons Homo sapiens have been able to live as long as we have on this planet was through outlasting and overtaking other species. This has been done through both natural selection and some more forceful means. Survival of the fittest is and always will be an endless fight. All four of our main heroines and the healing animals have fought to both overcome their own shortcomings and earn the right to say that they're truly living on this planet of ours. So what exactly differentiates us from this guy? If anyone else is waiting on the rebuild movies to end, here's how it should end. Nodoka didn't see prideful victory like this blowhard, but rather the right to protect hers and everyone close to her's healthy lives. With those words, Nodoka managed to wake up not just her teammates, but also a few billion residents across the planet, giving us our big spirit bomb moment of the season. Once again, some good visuals here that almost makes me want to wave around a little flashlight. And while it didn't produce a big slow attack to finish the king off, it did do the next best thing and ejected our protagonist from within him. With that, they were given oversized versions of their wands. Seriously, almost all the animation in this episode looks great, so this one bit where the wands just keep mass shifting really kinda bars me. I don't know, maybe we'll just say their little toys are going through some kind of evolution as they transform for one of the last times in this series. And as I've already said, the animation here was just fantastic, not only giving all of our heroines moments to shine this last fight, but also giving us a really good sense of scale, showing how much they really have to push back against a titan like the Neo King. That said, this main sequence of events was sadly short before they ended things with the traditional final boss B-more. Oh well, at least the king saying Healin goodbye was almost as hilarious as spouting off about how he was perfect or something to that effect. With the day one, all of our protagonists, minus Latte, took what looked like a nap or could have been something else. But the little pup was told by her mother that she had the power to fix them, so yeah, no ambiguous Kamen Rider 5's ending today. Still, there was the little detail that they had outed themselves to all of their friends and family during that last encounter. Fortunately, they decided to pull a Spider-Man 2 and made a gentleman's agreement to not speak about these girls' not-so-secret identities. Hopefully the rest of the world didn't see them. No, y'all doing it wrong. You're supposed to come together in a circle, do a really awkward clap, and then one by one say congratulations. Get right, people. And yeah, while I think I would have preferred a longer final fight, I will admit this little sequence of everyone playing along with their little secret and yet quietly supporting them was cute and kind of touching. However, with the main threat of the Byokens taken out for now, Asumi and the healing animals had to return to their planet, the healing garden, likely to help further its restorations. This led to a somewhat touching farewell between the healing animals and their respective partners. Call me crazy, but this scene might be just a little bit more effective if you didn't have that giant burlap sack there, bunny. That little detail aside, I did like seeing Ravelin once again apologizing to Nodoka for dragging her into their war, reiterating that fantastic first real bonding scene of the season. Though, unlike back then, Nodoka is able to confidently assure a friend that she had fun. With that, we close things out with that fantastic first ending theme of the series playing us out as the friends part ways, ending the series on a truly sweet note. Wait, we still have one more episode? Well, okay, see y'all next week. You know, the more I think about it, the more I realize this might have been one of the more satisfying Precure penultimate episodes we've gotten in quite a while, and not just because the previous ones haven't been that great, but more because it felt like a proper full package here. We got a couple of really good closing fights, some impressive non-action visuals, and a reiteration of the main thesis of this series. To me at least, this was the cherry on top of what was a fairly flawed but still really tasty sundae. I will say though, that final battle with Neo King Byoken really should have been longer. I mean, even factoring in the first fight in the former half of the episode, which was also quite good, it didn't quite feel like a proper final boss fight, hence why I won't say this was the best penultimate episode ever. Still, the great animation did somewhat make up for it, plus I did really like this more verbal final showdown between Nodoka and the Neo King almost more than the physical fights. While I did make a lot of Evangelion references, truth be told, this final encounter reminded me more of Gao Gaigar, with the king in particular giving me some serious Palperpa vibes. In both cases, they were extreme Darwinists who believed that only the strongest should survive, and sought only the preservations of their worlds, which by all accounts could only really survive by destroying ours. Both were irredeemable monsters who needed to be stopped, which for Precure in recent years is frankly a little refreshing, reminding us that not every villain should be sympathetic, and that not everything can be resolved peacefully. That said, they also did provide us with some inner reflection to make us realize how much we have taken and fought to ensure our species' survival above all else. And from there, one brave warrior would remind us that we have to continue to fight for our rights to live. Again, a little more actual fighting would have been nice, but that's also not exactly the point of this series. It's about coming together to support one another through even some of the most difficult of times. And seeing how much these characters have grown together was certainly satisfying. Honestly, I would have been fine if this had been the final episode, and maybe the epilogue episode could have been used to lengthen some of these final fights, but I'll get more into that next week. For now though, this is still a very satisfying penultimate episode supported by great characters who I know a lot of us will miss, but evolution must continue to move forward, and hopefully not backwards. This week, I reviewed the first episode of the Powerpuff Girls Z, and once again, I'm surprised how well it went over with you guys. But more than anything, I'm just glad you guys are enjoying my videos. It's fun reviewing this stuff, and of course, with a new show just a couple weeks away, I hope all of you will stick with me into the next season. But before we get there, it's almost time to say farewell to this series that overall has been very enjoyable for me. I mean, I have other things I kind of want to say about it that aren't as positive, but we'll save that for the post-series overview. But until then though, for now my friends, and as is tradition around here, we'll send this series off the right way.